Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Let's quickly change this name because today we are running green-black Saga Depths. There we go. This list has been something that I haven't tried out for a little while now. Been on the green-white, rainbow, and Maverick plan, so I wanted to come back and try it and take a card that I know Jeff, Pokimoki, and Michael Mapson have been pretty big on, which is Witherbloom Command, which is a pretty interesting one. It's pretty versatile. It kind of runs in the same slot as Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy. The big thing that this doesn't hit is an Ensnaring Bridge against the Karn decks. Obviously, Trophy hits anything, which is pretty nice against Murktide, Karakas, other kind of impending threats, but it does give your opponent a land. Witherbloom could just be good enough as what you want. Having the reach as well of the gain 2, lose 2 is pretty sweet as a nice little upside in case my opponent has an Uro or has a Source Plushes for their own creature or something. Then Witherbloom is, yeah, pretty sweet to try out. Also taking the hand disruption up to 6 and trying out some Graphic Digger's Cage in the sideboard for decks like Elves, other Green Suns decks, Reanimator. So Cage should be pretty interesting. It might be a little bit overkill. I think the matchup against Elves is already pretty good because we are the faster combo deck, but we'll see how that runs. Torpor up there as well for Death and Taxes and also for Doomsday, which we've been seeing a little bit of. The main deck otherwise is pretty clean, which I really like. I think that Urza's Saga has probably given this deck a lot in terms of boosting its performance over the past few months, just because it gives the deck a nice plan B. Once you lose your Dark Depths in this deck, usually it's a pretty hard way to get there through Reclaimers and Hex Mages, but I do like that Saga can just win on its own, so that's pretty sweet. A huge thank you to the sponsor of the channel, Card Hoarder, and of course mtgmate.com.au, who is a sponsor of the channel. So if you do need your Australian singles, definitely get onto MTGmate. And use code Dukes, 5% off. 5% off for your singles, which is pretty awesome. Alright, let's get into a league and see how this goes. Pretty keen just to jump straight in. Interesting metagame so far. We played against a ton of decks. I've also been keeping an eye on my my performances as well, so that's pretty good. Oh, what do we play against here? That is an interesting one that I am going to quickly figure out. Ah, it was Delver. It was U-Red Delver. Alright, we're in. And we are on the play against... Alright. Pretty sweet hand. We don't have Dark Depths, but we do have Reclaimer to go and find it. So pretty happy to go like turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 Stage, or even turn 2 Saga. It's a little bit weak on mana, but I think with the Reclaimer we should be okay. And even if it doesn't pan out, we just have land into Saga, into second land to start creating tokens, so pretty happy to keep this. I could see someone mulliganing this as well, but I think it's just good enough that we have a pretty high chance of drawing into the extra color needs for this deck. Snow-covered island ponder. Interesting. Okay, well that makes things a lot easier. How do I want to do this? I think I just want to take it pretty slow here. Play Saga this turn, next turn play Dark Depths. Play Thespian Stage, make a dude, and then the turn after we can play Dark Depths. We could get really aggressive and turn this Saga into another Black Source to then play Hex Mage next turn. But I think here I'm happy just to play Saga and hold up Reclaimer if needed. I wouldn't mind if my opponent uses a Swords to Plowshares on the Reclaimer here. There is a world where I just want to turn this Bayou into a fetch land, end of turn. Just to get Reclaimer closer to being a 3-4. Hey Dark Poet, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hey Learn, hope you're doing well as well. Brainstorm. So off the Ponder they chose to shuffle, which means they're obviously looking for something. And I don't think Bayou Reclaimer straight away shows that we might be on Dark Depths. They chose to shuffle again, so they're really looking for something here. Which makes me kind of want to go towards Hexmage here. Potentially just throwing away the Saga for an Urborg. So we can untap, play Depths, and play Hexmage around days. I don't mind that. I could also turn the Bayou into an Urborg and keep the Saga around. I think I'm happy to pitch the Saga here. I feel like this is show and tell. Even though they're playing a snow-covered island, I just get a feeling that they're a combo deck because of the shuffle on the Ponder and the shuffle on the Ponder. But to be fair, they did just brainstorm. So they've obviously brainstorm locked themselves and then pondered for the shuffle. So I think I'm okay just going for Urborg here. Mox is pretty nice because now I also get to hold up Witherbloom Command if I really need to. I will play Depths first to play around days. Okay. And then, just in case something happens, I'm not going to play the Mox in here. I guess I could to hold up Reclaimer if needed. Like if they put like Show and Tell in a Grizzlebrand. I guess then we can just go for Sejiri Step into Pro Black on our turn anyway. I don't think there's a world where I need to hold up Reclaimer here. Yeah. I guess if they show and tell in Emrakul, it's not that bad either because they just have to chump block. So I think I'd rather just, yeah, attack in for 1 and pass. The only reason to play the Mox Diamond there is if I'm thinking this is Blue-Red Delver and they have main deck Brazen Burrower, then there's a good argument to hold up Sejiri Step. But I'm going to put them on Show and Tell and just, yeah, hopefully be quicker. Yeah. I guess we just put in second Hexmage. And just hope they don't have like an Omni into Emrakul line or sneak in something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no way to put in a 6th. I'm trying to think if we can like live through an Emrakul swing. Maybe that was actually the reason to play the Show and Tell. Yeah, I think it was. I'll play the Mox Diamond, sorry. Because then Show and Tell we could put on a Hex Mage and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that way, yeah, we'd have 7 total permanents. So definitely a reason there to play the Mox. This is fine. Ah, that is true. That is very true. So I have to find like 3 petals here and try to Show and Tell in something else. And hey John, welcome. Yeah, because Hexmage and Dark Depths takes away 2, so we go back down and then, yeah. That's true. Also Subdugs, nice. I don't have to use a Reclaimer in upkeep either, because we can just naturally draw the step, which is cool. Correct, Jig. Crop. Nice. Crop also wins. But thankfully, Sejiri Step just does it as well. What are they trying to find? Like misdirection? Can you misdirect Sejiri Step? Interesting. Alright. Show and Tell. Combo. Game 1 win. Show and Tell. Show and Tell. I like the chokes. I like the surgicals with hand disruption. I like the Force of Vigors. Wither Blooms can most likely come out. Bog can most likely come out. Retro's interesting. I think Shadow Spear can definitely come out. I like the Needles because of Sneak Attack and Grizzlebrand. Inquisitions, Crops, Reclaimers. Libraries aren't too bad. Trophy's always interesting as well, but I don't... maybe Trophy's just worth it in case they do have Omni. We do have the Forces though, so I don't want to overcommit. I like the Moxen to try to keep up. But I might go down on one with the land drops as well. And it might just be Foundry. Foundry can get us extra like things for Emrakul, but map's not too bad. Map's probably just a little bit too slow. I don't mind this. Just things that do interact. And at least if we can maybe hit a Show and Tell with Thoughtseize or Inquisition and then Surgical it is definitely our best way to try to win this game. And then make them rely on Sneak Attack, which we have multiple answers for in Needle, Trophy, Force. But I do like that my opponent's name is and they're obviously on Show and Tell. And hey Luke, if you're watching, thanks for the message. Too kind. Oh, that is nice. My friend Luke got a Delver, which looks very, very cool. Dude. I think this hand's just a little bit too fair, unfortunately. I really want to have some sort of interaction, especially on the draw, so I'm gonna mulligan this. It is Delver of Secrets. I'll see if I can get it up on stream. This is actually a pretty good hand. I'm going to keep this. And I think because we have this stage, I'm happy just to drop the Hex Mage here. And then we get to go Inquisition into Library into Choke, which is pretty nice. here is their list, which looks really cool. Big fan. Steam vents as well, hilarious. I do need to get an extra Volk. I should get a fourth Volk. I have a mountain currently in my paper Blu-ray Delver list, and it's just a little bit awkward. As nice as it is against the Wasteland decks, like Death and Taxes, it's a little bit awkward. I know the feeling, Jack. We've all been there. I wonder if they bring in Blood Moon against us. I assume so. I kind of have to go for a Volk, but sorry, a Bayou. But if I draw another fetch land, I wouldn't mind just going basic. You just borrow one for Copper Fence? Nice. Yeah, it's a good way to do it. Kind of want to trade your third Trop into a fourth Volk. Nice. Yeah, I have a third Trop in just blue-green Omni, but that deck can like pretty well work on like 1 or 2 Trops. I think 3 is kind of overkill. And it's not like I play Infect or anything, so... Opponent definitely having a think about their hand. But they did keep the 7, so... Ponder is going to be A-OK. They chose to shuffle straight away, which is pretty nice for us. Will they play out Petal? Don't think they will. I mean, they could be like worrying about Sphere potentially. Step. Alright. Bayou. Inquisition. Alright, well. They were going to play the Petal, potentially. Pretty easy take here in Show and Tell. But it's definitely not over. Taking Show and Tell here also turns on Surgical, which is really nice. It could be Brainstorm, but I would hate for them to just like draw into like Ancient Tomb or City or like even second Petal. They're probably happy just to play Petal, Show and Tell. The Pondo was a shuffle, yeah. So they had 2 draw steps to find a fetch land or another land. There we go. Yeah, it's always tough, like, taking the Brainstorm there, and then just knowing that they have Show and Tell and some pretty great targets in Omni, Sneak. They play the Petal out. They're going for Show and Tell. I guess Choke doesn't really do anything here. Probably don't want to show the Choke either. I'll put the Saga in. They could just be trying to put everything in. Intuition. Yeah. I am just going to run this back. No great changes. Definitely interesting. just a bit too slow. Yeah. Turn 1, turn 2. Yeah, it's a turn 3, which is just a little bit too slow. Okay, this is actually not too bad. It is very much like Thoughtseize and then try to surgical show and tell. But it is just a one-lander, which is pretty tough. I don't think a one-lander is really want to beat. As good as like Thoughtseize into surgical is. Okay, this is much better. Keep this. Bottom 1 surgical and potentially Step or Dark Depths. Step is another land to try to get Choke into play, but Dark Depths is obviously a nice way to win. Yeah, I think it's Step because this is a way to like not lose the game, and this is a way to win the game. So. Force. All right. Okay. One card top, one card bottom. Scry 2. I guess there's a world where we had a surgical preordained here. We're definitely putting in the Hex Mage, but there's a world where they have like Omniscience and then want to preordain straight away. I guess we could also keep the surgical for... I don't think the surgical can beat Intuition because they have priority before they can before we can surgical anything. Actually no. If they try to go for show and tell into Intuition for Emrakul, then we get to surgical in response to trigger. So I think here we just put in the Hex Mage. Okay. This is fine. Haha. Yeah, I think I will surgical. Surgical right now, because I don't want them to be able to shuffle it back in with Emrakul. Ancient Tomb City and land is their hand. They have a Magus. Brazen Borrower. Okay. Borrower is a little bit annoying. Alright. Hey, Vegeta. We are well, thank you. That's fine. Nice. Very cool. Oof. Mmm. Nice. And that was 2-1. Nice. Yeah, show and tell feels a lot better on the black. Yeah, I think the new white Scavenging Ooze is pretty cool, as just like a tutor target for both Stoneforge and Recruiter. Especially for main deck, it seems really strong. Just as like a one-off. Oh, yes. Yeah, this is still a great hand. Even though the Moxes are pretty dead here, we get to go turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Hexmage, or turn 1 Needle, depending on what we run into. We are on the draw. Oh, we're on the play. Ah, okay. That's interesting then. I think in that case, it's Wasteland that beats us. I'd rather... Yeah, I think we need a Wasteland first, because Thoughtseize on the Urborg is... Sorry, Wasteland on the Urborg here is pretty brutal. Another Hexmage. Okay. I think I just like Thoughtseize here, and then next turn we can Hexmage. But they potentially could have Swords to Plowshares. Sorry, Brainstorm. But casting Hexmage is also nice because you have the backup. The question is, if they end step Sword, do we go for it? I don't think we do. I think we then just try to untap, draw into a land for Mox Diamond, Thoughtseize, and then Hexmage again. Or even just see if they force to build this. They will force it. Okay. It's pretty good for us because it means they don't have something like Swords to Plowshares in hand. Force Pitch Snapcaster. Come on, land. Nice. I could play the Cradle, but here we didn't. Okay. I guess we're just taking the Force. And they can potentially get there with the Shark Typhoon. That's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, I kind of have to take the Force, or else they force the Hexmage. But then they have Shark potentially, if they draw a land to block. Huh. Interesting choice. So worst case is we play Hexmage, make a Dark Depths, they cycle Shark Typhoon, make a 1/1 block, and then ending the token. Yeah, take Shark, make them force. We do have a lot of outs as well to find, which is pretty nice. Yeah, it's fair. Seeing the endings now is why the Cradle is pretty good. The only upside of Mox Diamond is if we draw into a Saga, we can then start going to town with Sagas. I guess if they draw a land, they could also go Prismatic Ending on the Hexmage and then also have Prismatic Ending open for the Dark Depths. I think we take force and just hope they don't draw land. They could also cycle Shark Typhoon now for 0 to try to draw into a land so they have double ending. Interesting, they are going to go for that. Or try to draw into a another blue card. This is fine. Any judges in chat? What's the question, Jack? Ah, that's a good question. Equipment just remains an artifact type. Alright, Ponder. Like gingerbread being a food? Nice. Gingerbread. They chose to not shuffle, which is really interesting. I think I still just have to go for it. And like, even if we gain 20 life here, we have Sylvan Library, which is a fantastic card to have in the deck when you have so much life. Okay. I think here I don't mind just turning the forest into a saga while they're tapped out. And go for the saga plan instead of the Dark Depths plan. What I should have done is actually put a stop on my draw step, so if I draw crop, then I can essentially turn saga into a get 2 triggers off the saga, 1 in draw step, 1 in main step. I think here I'm happy to turn stage into another copy of saga. Maybe a little bit greedy, because you go end step, create a dude, untap. If we draw a land, it's pretty solid. No attacks is pretty interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think here we just want to float a mana with this one. Then we can play the Retrofitter and get Caracas in. I mean, if they have Hardcast Force, they have Hardcast Force. Oh, Needle's also nice. Needle and Tarn's pretty interesting. It does tap for mana though. It might just be Shadow Spear, but Map is also pretty interesting. We have seen Narset. Narset's the only Planeswalker we've seen. Needle Typhoon's pretty good as well. I believe we can do that because it is a cycling ability. We've already seen 2 Sharks though. I'm not sure if they would have... I'm just going to get Shadow Spear. And then this triggers... potentially. Nice. Play the retro. Pretty easy force target. Wow, it resolves. I did not expect that. They didn't attack with the shark and they didn't block with it. Hull Breacher. Yep. Teferi would be a pretty good name, I guess. Teferi does change things up a bit. We also know they still have a prismatic ending, I believe. They've only used 1. Yep. I probably just want to get map with the next saga. I could get needle into fairy. Definitely a few lines. They also can't cast Prismatic Ending at instant speed, so it might just be end step make a dude and then try to get Shadow Spear on it to attack the Teferi. Yeah. Yeah. I guess we do have the Hex Mage as well to answer the Teferi in some regard. Maybe that's not a great use of Needle. They could also double block here if they really wanted to. Yeah, could also copy the island. That's very correct. What do I want to do here? I will play the needle out. I'm not sure what I want to name. Guess we'll see if it resolves first. It does. I think it might just be Shark Typhoon. Another shark here would be pretty brutal. Guess they could like snap into swords and then double block with snap and shark on one construct to kill it. Hardcast Force. Another land. Alright. A land here would be pretty nice, because then we can turn this into a 5/5. Ooh, Saga's pretty nice as well. I don't want to show the Saga just yet. It's tough, like, do they double block, or do they try to draw into Days Undoing? They double block. Doesn't really matter, but Definitely want to get rid of that Hull Breacher. Alright. Come on, Saga. Nothing. Stage would be pretty sweet. That's pretty nice as well, because now we can play Reclaimer out as well. Nice grindy game, for sure. But you've seen the power of Saga here, and just like the ability to kind of pivot the role away from Dark Depths being the game-winning creature. That's pretty interesting. I think I still like just creating a dude here. All right. There, one. All right. Cool. Nice to get game one. I like the chokes. I'm not sure what else I actually like. Probably don't mind the trophies as just a way to interact with their Days Undoing, either hitting Hull Breacher or Narset. I can probably drop down on Needle as well. Ghost Quarter can most likely come out here as well. I do like the Hand Disruption. The Moxen I actually am not the biggest fan of, especially seeing that it's a Fairy deck. Surgical's interesting, especially with Hand Disruption. We know they're on Snapcaster as well, but I don't think we need Surgical. It could just be that Surgical is better than any of these other cards. They could be playing back to basics, but we do have trophies for those and also Hand Disruption. I'm just gonna play the Surgicals. I think if we can take them off something like Prismatic Ending or Swords of Plowshares, it means we can just play a little bit cleaner, knowing what to play around. But I would not say that Surgical is a great strategy to rely on in this sort of matchup. Engineers are also interesting as just extra threats. Hey, if you guys like this content, you can find me on YouTube. You can also find me on Twitter here. Nice. If we cut all the Moxen, don't we have only 3 green sources? We do. We can get towards Yavimaya, which is nice, but that is definitely a consideration as well, the mana base. And I think this hand is just a bit of a mull because of the mana base that it has. I think there's a lot better 6, especially with Hand Disruption. Awkward to say the least. I think there's a better 5, especially when I can just go like 1-drop, 2-drop. We are up a game, which is nice, and this is perfect. I'll keep this. And I'm gonna bottom the Shadow Spear and potentially the Forest. Yeah. Yeah. And then hopefully just draw into Cropper is pretty risky. But it also is just a either saga or stage, which is pretty nice. Okay. Unfortunately, a lot of ways to deal with Sylvan Library here in Narset, Hull Breacher, Teferi Bounce, Prismatic Ending. Good to see like a back to basics here as well. I think Prismatic Ending is probably the card that I'm happy to see more than Teferi, Hullbreacher, Narset. Back to basics. They get a Volk. Okay. Blood Moon. Okay. Maybe I should have kept the Forest. I guess now we know that Force of Vigor is probably okay. Sure. I think I'm going to name Jace here because it's an actual way to win the game for my opponent. Teferi and Narset aren't. They can disrupt, but Jace is definitely a win condition. I'm also just going to see how they board here. I probably should have surgicaled in response to the brainstorm because now they get a shuffle if I surgical. Okay. We got game one. Yeah. Sword Days thing. Null Rod. Interesting. And yeah, that's fair. So they're Meltdown. No Jace, which is just good to know. Second Blood Moon. Caracas. Okay. If they really wanted to, I guess they could actually, because they have Teferi. They could bounce the Blood Moon and then cast something with double blue and then... go for it, but they didn't. Null Rod's okay. Yeah, and I think, like, clock is definitely a thing here as well. My opponent doesn't currently have a win condition in play. I don't think we saw Mentor there as well. There is a world where post-board I don't mind one Moxen. Probably taking out the Surgicals and maybe bringing in one Mox and one Force. I don't mind that. Once you know about Blood Moon, it's a little bit easier to play around, but still annoying. I could have conceded there as well, but that's fine. I'd rather take more time off them than they know how we board. Because I think things like Choker are just cards that they would naturally think about when playing against a black-green deck. Witherbloom Command is a card that doesn't hit Blood Moon either, which is something that Abrupt Decay does in Assassin's Trophy, so a small thing there. Blood Moon, a Snaring Bridge, the sort of pesky 3-drop cards is what Witherbloom is a little bit weak against. We did get to, yeah, that's true. We get to shuffle the forest, which is cool. Hey, Mining Man. Very well, thank you. Currently up a game. Alright, well, there's a win condition. Funnily enough, with Null Rod in play, they won't be able to use their Hull Breacher treasures. Shark. Sure. Nice. Alright, 1 Mox, 1 Force, 2 Surgical. What's the play with Dazon doing? What do you mean? Alright. On the play, which is nice. And just an awkward hand with the mana, unfortunately. This is a lot better. I'll keep this and probably just bottom the Bayou here. We have 2 ways to win. I think it's just going to be Brainstorm here and keep them with the 3 drops. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, so with Narset, other opponents can't draw more than 1 card, and with Hull Breacher, if an opponent would draw a card except the first one they draw on that turn, they kind of skip it and you get a treasure, which is pretty huge. A little bit awkward if they have swords here. They don't. Oh my gosh. So good. Haha. Haha. Nice. That's classic. Alright. I'm going to call that Jeskai Hull Day. Yeah, I've been calling it Hull Day. Classic. Hey Tattoo and Hate Industry, thanks for the follows. Let me know where you're both from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. Oof. Definitely some hard ways to win, but pretty happy with that. All right, on the play, which is nice. Chat, what do you think about this opener? Yorion. Against a Yorion deck, I really like the turn 1 library. So I think I'm okay with this hand of Mox pitch Ghost Quarter stage into library. Wasteland. That's okay. That's your turn. I'm going to assume they're on a D&T then. Oof. I am just going to pay for these. I think I want to Thoughtseize them. And then make my play around that. Okay. We are just going to take the swords here. Definitely a very reactive hand. Like, against combo, that hand is tough. I guess against combo, like Yuri on D&T has a pretty tough matchup game 1 anyway. They play Caracas. Really need to find a land here. Nice. Oof. Put on top, put on top. And then just stage pass. They probably get their own Saga online. I think that's better than Port, because Port doesn't really do anything because they're just going to be using the Saga twice anyway. Yeah. Non-creature, non-land. Alright. Sure. It's not too bad because we have this. And also the constructs just being big creatures. I don't mind going to 6 here and just getting another Mox, and then we can Witherbloom command this and drain them. Because you know about these 4 and 1 other card. So let's put this on top. Pay for this. And now create a dude. Trigger. Go and get Mox. I could also get like a named Saga with Needle. That's pretty interesting. I think we don't care about the Saga just because how big our constructs are. So actually I'm just going to go for Mox here. Oh my gosh, we get to target. We want to get back that land. I think. Fine, yeah. Could also get Ghost Quarter. I don't mind that, just to hit the Saga. Yeah, thankfully the Saga, this library start with Saga backup has just been really strong. Like, land Flickwisp might be the best go, but then they don't get a thing off the Saga because of the Ghost Quarter. I think thankfully both roads lead to victory, but we'll see how this unfolds. I also have crop into my own saga to get it again. That's very true. Ghost Quarter does fix him a little bit. Put on top, put on top. I could go to 2. No. Just thinking if I want to crop now for Saga, because then I get 2 triggers, which is quite nice. 1 mana, 2 mana. Saga, ETB trigger. Nice, and now main phase 1 trigger. Cool. Play Ghost Quarter. Probably try to get out of Solitude right now. Actually, no, I want to hold up this mana for Saga, so we have 1 mana spare, so I can play the Reclaimer at least. Yeah, it's a pretty cool trick, especially in like the green-white builds with things like Knight of the Reliquary, also stopping a draw step in case you draw into, like, to assess your hand and then see if you want to get Saga. I think these being 5/5s is fine. But I can potentially make them have to use the Saga. If we play Shadow Spear, it's +3 in total. But getting this is just +2 anyway. Much of a muchness. They are going to Solitude. What did they pitch? Solitude. Alright, so we know about planes. Should have made the dude in response to gain the extra life, but I think that's okay. Just a little thing that could potentially add up, especially in a deck like this where it can have a pretty huge impact. Especially if they have something like Jide, that can change things up. But I assume he would just either make a second creature. They didn't have too much else going on. Yeah, just a tough one for them. So Yuri on D&T. I like the Torpor Orbs. I like the Plagues. I don't mind the Forces. I don't mind the Trophies, but I don't want to overcommit either. The Moxen can definitely come out. The Bazooka Bog can come out. It might just be like a 1-in-1 split of Trophy and Force. Yeah, I think being on the play there was huge, and having the turn 1 library where they didn't have access to something like a turn 3 Skyclave or a turn 2 Spirited Labyrinth was really nice. I don't mind Hand Disruption, especially to hit something like a Stoneforge or a Recruiter. I don't mind Map. Needles are great. Map might just be a little bit too slow. Libraries are fine. Witherbloom's nice. Like, it might just be that more removal is better. And I really like having an answer to turn 1 Vial. We do have the Needles though, so there is a world where the second Force just isn't needed. Tab's also interesting just to keep them off being able to use their mana for things like Port and Saga. Just because we don't usually run so many creatures unless we have Foundry going and or Saga. There is a world where I'd rather just have the Tabernacle in the deck. Yeah. Maybe it is just going down to the one force. Tough though. Maybe I'd rather the force than the extra trophy. Yeah, Saga into Saga is very nice. That's very true. Alright. This is just a straight mulligan, unfortunately. The mana just isn't there. But some pretty powerful cards. Great hand. Pretty happy to keep this. Probably going to bottom the second stage and just go turn 1 Needle and Wasteland into Torpor Orb. That's pretty strong. And then also having Crop Rot open is good, so... If they play a Aether Vial, I think I would definitely think of needling that, but I think here Wasteland's just a better play. I mean, now we have both, so it's pretty awesome as well. I'm going to take this draw step off just for now. I might even keep the second needle in case they go turn 2 Stoneforge for Kuldra. I might just name Stoneforge Mystic with the needle. The deck just plays creatures that can attack. That's the big thing. Council's Judgment doesn't see too much play these days, but it is something to think about. Depths. Okay, that's pretty good as well. I mean, if we go Saga this turn, then next turn we'll have the mana for Dark Depths, but it'll be a bit late. I think here I just want to go Bayou into Torpor Orb. And then Saga the following turn. Although Saga early on is pretty nice as well. I think just getting Torpor Orb online is better. It also plays around Port a little bit better as well. Yeah. I mean, we also have the combo next turn, because we can play Dark Depths and then hold up Crop Rotation into Yavimaya, or Bayou, or Urborg, which is quite nice. Soul Guide's fine. Peacekeeper could definitely be in the deck as well. Oof. Okay. Is this a destroy target enchantment? Oh my gosh, we can just clear that board here as well. We can if we draw another land. I actually don't mind that. This is actually interesting. Yeah, because then we kind of have to, in a way, waste the crop. I don't have to worry about Solitude, which is nice. I kind of like Dark Depths and then just hold up the combo through Yav. Yeah, I actually don't have a way to play Witherbloom this turn because I need green, green, black. Yeah. Tabs on the board. They could have brought in Part to Exile as well. Oh, they have the Caracas. This deck does have Step, correct. Hexmage is nice. We'll play the Saga. The question is, do I now just go for... I think now we just go for Needle on Karakas. And now I kind of feel like I just have to go for... Because what do we take next turn? 1, 4, 5, 6, 7 most likely. Maybe even lethal if they play Shadow Spear. So I think I kind of have to play Hexmage here. Crop away the... Probably the... it's tough because then they also have the Saga to go and get Needle, most likely naming either Hexmage or Stage. I don't think I'm winning if I'm just passing with Dark Depths up. We have a bit of time, so we can go through options here. So we can pass and hold up Urborg or Yavimaya off crop to then combo off, which we have to do in response to the Saga trigger, or else they just name Thespian Stage with Needle. We could also trade away the Stage for Urborg, and that way we can cast the Hexmage and also have open Hexmage Dark Depths, but again, still have to go off in their turn, which I don't feel that bad about with Torpor here. Part 2 Exile is really just the big card that gets us. I think it is getting rid of Stage, because I want next turn to have access to green and black. Tough. Tough spot. And I will get Urborg. The black is just a little bit better. Yeah, we have to, because of the... Okay. So this triggers, and we just go for Hexmage here. See if they create a dude or float mana. They're gonna float mana. Okay. They could get Retrofit Foundry, I guess. And they can't make a dude, though. Shadow Spear and gain some life is potential. They do give to give pro with Mum. Pro black. Definitely a tight one. They get Needle. Interesting. Maybe naming Saga? Okay. I could see like Flicker Wisps just have a flyer that can be blocked. Yeah, this is fine. Hexmage. Not too bad. I kind of need to use the Witherbloom right now on the Mum. I don't mind Witherbloom get back Dark Depths and then just play Hexmage again. That's actually pretty sweet. just to tap the mum here, so they either have to save the mum or save the wisp. They kind of have to save the wisp because they're at 20. So let's go for... Yeah, spear's also a pretty nice consideration. Green black with a bloom. We mill and target the mum. They give pro to herself. Okay, and then they lose the wisp. Okay. That's true, yeah, I could have attacked first. And then just killed what they didn't have protection from. Yeah, that's probably the clean way to do it. Yeah, I just, I'll call that just a streaming punt. Well, next turn we can get Shadow Spear, so I don't really care about protection, which is nice. Vial's okay. Yeah. Nice. And they obviously just didn't have a flyer, so... Yeah, definitely best case there is attack first, make them use their protection, and then second main do that, but... Whew. Nice. That was D&T. Alright. But yeah, I mean, that mistake can definitely add up, especially against Death and Taxes. But Torpor up there, really, really, really good. Yeah. The only thing I'm not too... I do like the flexibility of Wither Bloom command, but not hitting things like Ensnaring Bridge and Blood Moon, and like Skyclave Apparition, a definite... Not concerns, but it does miss a few things that are big. Peacekeeper could have been pretty bad, yeah, that's true. It does also play Reclaimer, very true. Nice. We did get there. Thankfully, Torpor Orb was just strong, especially against the Flicker Wisp. And then, opponent didn't have too much otherwise. They didn't have a great clock. The Urza Saga tokens are pretty small. Just a bit of a tough one. Also getting the needle was interesting. Maybe they don't have anything else. Because even trying to get Urza's... trying to get Retrofit Foundry online would have been good. Like, chump with Flicker Wisp as long as you can until you can start getting those 1/1 Flying Thopters. Or even get your own Shadow Spear to start getting some life. And maybe make it a bit awkward if we want to attack on the same turn. Make it a bit awkward where the swing with Shadow Spear could mean that our attacks aren't lethal. Yeah, even the early Solitude in game 1, I think they maybe could have got to a stage where they could hardcast it and not have to hit it there. But you never know. Alright, we're on the draw. Hand is slow. This could be a mulligan. Hand is rough as well. Like double Mox, but only one land that doesn't tap for mana. Pretty happy to go to 5 here. And this is pretty good. I'm going to keep this, bottom the Dark Depths. And potentially the stage here. I like the Saga. I obviously like the colored mana. And I like having Hexmage and Dark Depths here. So I think if we take out the stage, it's pretty normal. The only thing is we do have to hit double black to get the Hexmage online. We don't have to hit anything to get the stage online. So it's really between Hexmage and stage here. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear from chat. Mage, yeah, I think relying on the lands is more than fine. So that's a good one. Stage does also work with the Saga game plan, which is quite nice. Island, Delver, okay, okay. I think if they have a wasteland, I'm really not concerned if they wasteland a Bayou here. So I could potentially see myself going for Bayou, but I also don't mind just going for Swamp and just getting like some lands going. Oof. So they do have a wasteland. Brainstorm, Force, Murktide. So at least a slow-ish hand from my opponent. I'm probably going to lead on this Saga next turn. I'd rather the Saga go than the other cards. Oh, okay, well that's pretty nice. I guess we play the Saga this turn is 1, next turn is 2. So I think I actually want to go with stage. Unless I want to start just beating down with Saga. I think I'll... They didn't flip the Delver, so they don't have days. So I think I'd rather see if they force the needle or not before I see what I play. Interesting. I think in this case then, it's just going for the combo. So I'd rather play Dark Depths this turn, because then if we draw into a black source, we can just play Hexmage. And if we don't, we can still just play Stage. And then if we draw into Mox Diamond, we could also potentially combo off next turn. And there's Days. Okay. Crop. Cool. Alright. I'm not going to cast anything because I don't want them to fill their graveyard. I don't mind making it now just in case they're on the Stifle build. We can't really play around main deck Brazen Borrower anyway. They could be on Jeskai and playing Caracas, but so far it just looks like they're playing blue-red. And I assume with that, the basic island might not be in Jeskai. But double Brainstorm here is just allowing them to dig once more, so I feel pretty good about this. It looks like they might want to block with the Delver this turn and then block with the Murktide next turn. Potentially try to find an out, but I think that just shows that they don't have an out in the main deck, which is quite nice. Delver. I like the trophies and I like the chokes. That's really it. Caracas can come out. Foundry's a little bit slow. Map isn't the worst. I still like the Thoughtseize and the Inquisitions. I don't mind dropping a library or two. Probably both libraries, to be fair. I think that's a pretty good trade. What fetches did they have? Usually Blue Red plays a mixture of... Interesting hand. A mixture of... Scalding Tarn and Flooded Strand. Sometimes plays like Misty. Could definitely trim on Mox and Crop, but I do like that Mox on the draw allows us to play around Days. This is very much on Saga Beats, which sucks against a Meltdown hand, especially with Needle, but definitely an interesting one. This is really a case of how much do we respect Meltdown. We can't currently cast these two. I don't know if I'd keep this as a 5, but we're up a game, and I would like to see how this hand performs. I mean, it's really Meltdown or bust, so... Yeah, more a for science kind of play. Delver, okay. Sure. Chain Lightning. Chose to not shuffle. Okay. I think he would have taken the Expressive Iteration. The card's just really insane. The Chain Lightning we don't really care about other than it coming to face. We're essentially at 14. So I think it's just the Expressive. Misty, DRC. They probably just chain us now. Yep. Okay. I mean, Urza Saga gets Mox Diamond, which means we can then get green for Crop. We go down to 2. All right. Oof. Yeah, okay, we get, I know what we do here. We got to get Bog. Oh, Equip Shadow Spear is interesting to 2020. The other play here is, I think we're definitely floating in mana. Getting Mox Diamond to get green online. And then cropping for Bog. We could also get Shadow Spear and attack here, but that takes us off the mana for Dark Depths. So we kind of have access to 1 spare mana. We'd have access to 4 mana, 5 mana for Mox Diamond, so 4 mana with Crop Rotation gone, and then 1 mana with Dark Depths gone. So that allows us to play around the days in hand, which is quite nice. I think that's just the play. And just hope they don't draw into Lightning Bolt. So we go float 1. Go and get Mox. Yeah. Spear is interesting, but it doesn't really get us out of things. Pitch Urborg. Play Depths. 1, 2, 3. Keep this one. And then crop away Urborg. Go and get Bojuka Bog. And target them. And say go. Haha. Another DRC, that's fine. What does this do? Oh, we can just destroy this, right? And play around the days in hand? Oh my gosh. We just win if we kill the Delver, right? Destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less, and then kill another creature. Ah, destroy target non-creature. Interesting. Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was an Abrupt Decay. Rough, yeah. That's definitely a spot where I'd much rather the Abrupt Decay in the deck. I guess we get to DRC and Drain? Yeah. They're gonna daze to try to dig. And they keep. Huh. What do they keep on top? I don't know. I guess if they kept Bolt, we have to just keep creatures back. If it's Borrow where they only have one other card in hand, I think we take the time just to pass back. Oh, they have a Vulcan hand? Of course, yeah, okay. Chain Lightning and Bolt kills us. I don't think the attack with Merit is good. Oh, they have to block, of course, yeah, sorry. Didn't even think of the block, yeah. 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 Apologies, chat. They have like Gut Shot? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Terrible. Terrible. Alright. Nice little 2-0. Just, yeah. Delta. I'm going to go to the bathroom for a second. We're currently 4-0. I'll be back in a second. This is actually a great time for you guys. You can follow me on Twitch or Twitter. Nice. Hey TC. Hey Sekro. Hey Rob, thanks for the follows. Let me know where you're from. Bobble into Bolt would have been sweet, yeah. Definitely. Haha, Toast! Nice. I like your username. Thank you for the follow. Let me know where you're from. Oh yeah. Hey Spider Space, too good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Here is the list. I think the core of the deck is pretty solid. I would say these 4 cards where you can kind of play around with. Things like Abrupt Decay. Like there's been a few points tonight where Abrupt Decay would have been really solid. But just didn't have it. But overall, pretty happy. I was playing a 4th Needle for a while, but I do think 3 is fine. Yeah, Gabriel, I'm pretty sure you'd be happy about the new equipment ooze. Doing pretty well, thank you. Just enjoying some depths. Probably get back into Death and Taxes later this week, which is cool. But yeah, new Cat Scoo's enchantment creature looks really strong. Especially as both a Stoneforge and recruiter target. Very, very cool. Big fan. I'm glad they printed something like that. Also pitchable to Solitude, very cool. Let me find it. Here it is. So it is a, let's come up a bit. 2 mana, 1/1 artifact creature equipment cat. For 1 white and instant speed, you can exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a permanent card, you can put a +1/+1 counter on Lion Slash. And then if a creature is equipped with it, it gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on Lion Slash and costs 2 to equip. Which is pretty sweet. So you can Recruiter for it, you can Stoneforge for it. Instant speed artifact. Oh, instant speed graveyard hate's really nice as well, so pretty cool. Beseiju pretty interesting as well. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people trying it out. It might make me needle. might make me get that 4th needle in the deck. Because yeah, it looks very strong, especially in the right build with things like Loam. Hey, Eddie the intern, welcome. Eddie, you're just my lucky charm, 100%. Alright, opponent. We're on the play, which is nice. And chat, what do you think of the opening hand while I put in my data? On the play, up against Yorion again. With not the worst hand. Turn 1, hold up crop, turn 2, library. And then we can potentially just crop away Bayou into Urborg for Hex Mage. I don't mind this hand, especially with the library. It's going to be a long game, so I'm pretty happy to keep this. Also having both ways to win is quite nice. This is fine. Pretty happy to get a fetch as well. Could have also gone for Yavimaya. That's a pretty good one because it also turns on the Dark Depths. Yeah, I can assume it's going to be D&T as well. Oh, okay. No. Huh. Didn't expect that. Okay. Pretty nice. I guess we can Thoughtseize first and then Needle, so I am going to pay life here just to dig. But I might... It's actually pretty tough. I might just play Stage and Pass with Saga up. I think that's better. I'm not really scared of anything at 2 because we have Witherbloom Command to deal with Sylvan Library, which is probably the only one. So I think it is just Stage Pass with Saga up. Probably don't mind getting Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear just works really well with the Sylvan Library. I'm gonna ponder off the land. I guess I could also get map and try to go for Ghost Quarter to take them off the snow-covered forest, which is probably not what I want to be doing. I think in this game one, I'm happy just to go for the Saga plan. Just map for Saga. We do have the stage to copy Saga as well. Chose to not shuffle planes, sure. Just gonna do this. Actually, I won't do this now because I might have Prismatic Ending. I'll do it in end step. Bog's pretty nice to have. I don't mind getting Reclaimer online. Two, 4, 6, 8. We play a land. I also wouldn't mind just keeping Bojuka Bog and then Thought Seizing this turn as well. I think that's okay. I think that's the play. No, I can copy the Saga or create another dude here. I kind of like getting another creature into play. Yeah, because we can just get map anyway. No, I'm going to go for the Mox. Pitch the Bog. Happy to Inquisition over anything else, because the Thoughtseize can wait. There is a world where keeping the Bog is better than Dark Depths, especially if they have like an Uro. I'm going to force negation that. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what they're trying to keep. I wanted to get the 2 constructs into play in case they had Teferi, so Teferi bounce 1 wouldn't deal with both. Interesting. I am going to Thoughtseize first. There's a world where I don't care about Thoughtseize. And we just go for like Needle on Wasteland again and then play Hexmage. They did force, so they're obviously keeping something in hand. I feel like an Ice Fang coming, which doesn't have... Oh, Endurance. Okay. That's pretty good if it targets us. Because then we get Bog back in the deck. Nice. And now the Needle puts these up as well. Grist is probably the card that I don't like the most here. If they want a Swords a token, that's more than fine. We can Needle Grist, that's very true, yeah. There we go, that's the play. Yeah. Yeah, carry on. I know that feeling. I'm sure that once I one day get out of Magic, I'm sure I could put some of it towards a nice house, which is pretty cool. I guess the Pondo. No shuffle. Oh, they're attacking? Interesting. So we can attack for lethal, or we can attack for 8. And then drain. Oh, I like that. This way we can also hold up the Reclaimer if needed. I'm smelling another Murktide. Sorry, another Endurance here. Ice Fang. Okay. Sure. No, I guess we play Hexmage and hold up Reclaimer. Witherbloom is pretty sweet. There has been a few times where it's got us a little bit tonight, where Abrupt Decay would have been better, like a Flip Delver or Blood Moon, but that's probably okay. I also don't mind just cycling this basic forest into probably Yavimaya. I don't want to give my opponent an extra color. Oof is fine. So now they have 2 cards left. Now they have 1 card left. Well, now they just have Grist, right? Because they pondered. So their dead should just Dark Depths and then Step. Nice. Per green. Nice. I like the chokes. I'm going to assume they're playing Uro, so there's definitely consideration for Surgical. I don't think Grafdigger's Cage is worth it, unless they're playing Green Suns. I could see that, seeing they're playing Oof. I'm going to say they are playing Green Suns, but I'm not sure if I want to go down the route of playing Cage. They are pretty high on basics, but hitting like their Trops and Tundras is pretty good. This is Zenith. Maybe it's better to restrict them on Cage. They do have Harvest. It might just be like the 4 Moxes for like 2 trophies, 2 Cage. I don't mind that. Just having answers for most things. Torpor Orb's a little bit tough when they have Uro, because it comes into play and they get to keep it. Same with like a Evoked Endurance, which is pretty brutal. We do have Caracas for Uro, but Orb just a little bit awkward. Kind of like everything else. I'm going to see how this goes. We are up a game, which is nice. This hand is fine. Doesn't have a green source, but it does have like a turn 3 Depths or Saga. I'm pretty happy with this. We also have Stage to copy a green source. Yeah, and at least if Prismatic Ending is hitting Cage, then at least it's not hitting like a Library or a Reclaimer. Torb seems like it could be Feast or Famine. Whereas a deck like Death and Taxes or Doomsday, it's just going to be Feast. Chose to no shove. think I like just leading on Urborg here. It also just turns on like drawing into Hexmage. I probably don't want to play the Saga just yet either. Land pass. Well, I'm pretty happy just to try it. I mean, if this got a force, I'd be very happy with that. They could also have Dress Down. I think if they cast Dress Down, I'll just let it be. Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty happy just to sit back on Hexmage as well. No shuffle. Second card. They do play Wasteland, that's very correct. Okay. I really want to get them down below like the threshold of gaining life with Ura to go above 20. So I think here we're just going to go with Saga Pass. I could see Stage, because then we can hold up Stage and Hexmage as ways to get the 2020 going. I actually like the Saga. Getting towards Pithy Needle or Shadow Spear is pretty strong. And if we really get in a position where we can't... I guess there's also a consideration playing Stage and copying a green source. Library. No attacks. Interesting. Okay. Can attack here. I actually shouldn't have used the Stage there. I should have used the Urborg, because then we could still hold up like the thought of using Dark Depths here. Or copying a green source. This is fine. Hey FP, you're more than welcome. What are you playing in Modern these days? I assume you're still on Titan. But what are there any like new cards that made Titan pretty strong? Obviously always pretty strong, but what are like some of the newer cards that have come to Amulet over the past like year? There is Uro. That is going to be fine. Saga? Ooh. Okay. Yeah, Saga seems sweet. Saga seems very cool. I wonder if next turn I just want to map for Bog. to get Uro off the field. I could also just use the Caracas to keep them at bay, but them gaining life enduring cards with the Uro is pretty broken with the Sylvan Library in play. What if I remove the counters here from Saga as well? That's another play. That's actually pretty sweet. Saga just dies? It just dies. Yeah, cool. Cool. Not doing that. I think it's just getting Mox Diamond and getting the Reclaimers online. It shouldn't die? Let's see. Let's see. For science. Oh, Graph Digger's Cage is pretty cool here as well. Graph Cage might just be the card that I get. It sticks around! It sticks around! There we go. Nice. No blocks. Interesting. Graph obviously open to like Teferi Bounce and other things, but hopefully that's okay. Oh, it still has the create a construct ability as well. That is very cool. Very cool to see. Is this Grist? Potentially Leovold? Better red. Okay, thank you. Hey PH43, thanks for the follow, and I am Tan. Huge thank you. Oh, what was that? Seeds of Innocence. Okay. Pretty good. Interesting that they brought that in. I guess it makes sense seeing the sagas. I'm just going to return it here. And then just 6, just to save some time. And then next turn, I guess we just play Quarter and hold up Dark Depths and Saga Create. Unless we draw into a green source, I'll deploy a Reclaimer. I drew a Wasteland. Okay. That changes things up. Dark Depths. Turn 7 no green source is pretty funny, by the way. Just a little subtle thing here that we're missing out on. But still feel okay. Green source is overrated. I mean, green source just opens us up to Submerge, so, you know, just a thing. Ghost Courting ourselves to get Forest is definitely a thing. I just don't think we're in that position yet that we need to, which is quite nice. Ooh, what's this? Green Suns for 6. Oh, prime time? Yikes. If they have field, then it's pretty bad. Yeah, they do. I'm just going to concede there. And I will bring in the... I think the chokes are just exactly what I want to be doing. Force of Vigor is definitely interesting as well. Wither Blooms are okay. Trophies are fine. Could top deck Step. That's very true. There probably was a world where we should do that. Inquisitions. I think all the hand disruption is fine. I could see like a crop coming out. I could stage their green, but like with field and prime time, like pretty tough. Like we can go after the prime time with the trophy, but then them having the field online is just crazy. Especially with Uro and library as well. I don't like... I could see surgical coming in. It's tough because they don't have they're not just relying on Uro to win, so surgical obviously isn't that appealing. I don't mind one Mox as just a target for retro. Torpor's definitely interesting though. Yeah, I might just play around with one surgical. I don't mind that. Yeah, Orb's just obviously awkward with Uro. This is a pretty sweet hand. We don't have green, but we do have a Saga start. I think this is good enough. A little bit awkward, but this game's going to go long, so... Probably should have also gone for Urborg first in case we draw into Dark Depths and we can turn 2 Dark Depths Hexmage. Okay. Okay. If they have like library here, it's very good for them. Loam. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think we can go for like stage on forest here. We just have to try to get them to wasteland the Saga. This is fine. Because now I think in our turn we just turn, if we don't draw a green source here, we just turn yeah, stage into the forest and pass. Might as well do it upkeep. They didn't draw, which is interesting. This library. Okay. Happy to attack first. The question is, do I really care about Wasteland or do I care about Loam? I definitely get to deploy Reclaimer here, which is nice. I think I'm happy to take them off the Loam more than the Wasteland. Force. I think I actually like just turning Sage into a forest there as well, but maybe the Urborg then is just too open to Wasteland. I can also just... I don't want them to endurance themselves either. I think I am just going to go after the Loam here. Loam just too good of an engine, especially with Library being able to set it up. But they have Ramanap. And it's just a one of. Yuck. Okay. At least if they want to play the Ramanap here, they probably tap out on the drop. Yep. Yep. Kind of just have to take the prime time here. Like, they can cast Thalia next turn, but prime time is just going to get out of hand. Definitely a tough one. Don't think we have a way out of this. I definitely feel like I'm in a situation where I'm just taking game actions, and that's about it. Yeah. Tough. Well, 4-1 isn't too bad. Bant is definitely a tough one, especially there. Run it back? Haha. I could run it back. Chat, who wants me to run it back? I think I will change to the Witherblooms around though. Nice to get. Yeah. Alright, I'm just going to say goodbye to YouTube now, and then I'll reset. Thanks for watching.